We are live. We are so live. We are so live. Okay, so now I'm always nervous when we go into these Q&A lives. I was born nervous. It happens to be that way. Normally, our host for this will be Jason Bates, but right now, Jason may be in traffic. Things may be happening, but it's okay. I'm going to be your host for the day, and we're happy to have two guests. We have the lovely Zoe Zhang with us. Zoe, how are we doing?
Hey, doing good. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here with us. And we also have Mr. Mike Lynn in the building. Mike, what's going on, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, even though I'm not the one who normally am asking questions, I am eager to understand what deals you guys are dealing with. I want to know what communities you are in. So, starting with you, Zoe, you are a Sub2 member, correct?
Correct.
You're a Sub2 member. And Lynn, are you a Sub2 member or are you a Gator, Lynn? Mike?
I am a Sub2.
Sub2. Okay. Now, Zoe, let me start with you, Zoe. When did you become a Sub2 member? When did you join the community?
I joined in April this year.
April this year. Okay. And you've done some deals so far.
Correct.
How
So
many?
my first, go ahead, go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
please. Just no. Please continue.
Yeah. I from April to right now, I closed three properties. I'm an end buyer. The first one I'm doing is in Texas. I'm in Houston, and the first one I'm doing is in Orange County. I purchased in I use Sub2 to purchase it. Right now I just finished rehab, and to do the midterm rental.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yes. Jason has showed up. We want to hear all about that, Zoe. Yeah. I'm from California originally, so this is going to be good. This is going to be real good. Jason, my man, what's going on, brother?
Hey, I am so sorry. I forgot
No, you're
about the
good.
time change. I'm used to a 2 hour difference
I
from
think Mike
Arizona.
brought that up. Yeah, yeah. It's okay, brother. It's okay, man. So so we have Mike and Zoe with us today,
Yeah,
Jason. And
perfect.
I asked Zoe about her deal. They're both Sub2 students. And Zoe, I'm gonna have Zoe explain it again. Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
And then of course you can take it from there.
awesome.
Yeah, my my name is Zoe Zhang, and I live in Houston. I joined Sub2 from April this year. Right now, till right now, I closed three deals. My first deal is in Texas, Orange County. I purchased Sub2. That one I just finished rehab, and I used to do the midterm rentals.
Okay,
Mhm.
very cool. And that's your most recent deal?
My most recent deal is another one, and that one is in Houston. Is Sub to two.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, what were you doing before you got into real estate and joined Sub2? What were you doing before that?
So I was a refiner engineer with six figures of salary.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I started this journey kind of by accident. My company offers relocation package. It's kind of like free money you can use to purchase property. So that's the beginning. I used it to purchase my first rental property. One bedroom for me, and then the other bedrooms for other people. And from that time, I realized the power of real estate. So I began to use conventional loans, slowly purchase property one by one.
Right.
Until before I joined Sub2, I have like five rental properties. It's all short-term and mid-term rental only.
Very cool. That's an amazing beginning of a journey. I love that. Mike, what about you, my friend? What were you doing before you entered real estate and joined Sub2?
Yeah, so I spent the last decade up until May of this year in the auto industry. So I
Mm-hmm.
did sales, finance, sales director, finance director, and then eventually ran an Acura and then a Mercedes dealership.
Oh, wow.
And then I made the leap about, let's see, I joined Sub2 in May, and I was out of the industry by the end of May.
Oh, there you go. I love it.
So, yeah, it
Yeah.
was kind of the springboard of something that, I'd been looking, I think, internally for a way out, and this was just, it hit me in the face, and I was like, this is it.
It's hard to avoid that, right?
Yep.
I totally get it. So, Mike, tell me a bit about how you found your deal.
Yeah, so I have the particular deal that I did the pod on was I have two VAs that do cold calling for me.
Mm-hmm.
So they reached out to this lady. I, called her, qualified her, went to her house, spent about 2 hours with her. told her that I wasn't her best solution to it, because it was a nice house. It was a really nice house. She's like, I don't want to deal with it. Just take it off my hands and give me a little bit of money. And so that's what we did.
Nice, very nice. And Zoe, what about you? How did you actually find your first deal, or the deal you were really excited about?
So for my the deals I find for my first one, I find in the page free group, free Facebook group, the
Okay.
creative. And the last two I find in the Sub2 group. They posted on Facebook.
Yeah, people forget how powerful that free group is. I got one of my best, cash flowing single family rentals I found through a wholesaler that was in the free group, and that's the one that kind of launched my start into Sub2, because I had joined Sub2 November 22, and we found that deal in February of 23, and that was kind of what launched the whole creative finance Sub2 journey. So really, really powerful that that's where you find it. And then, so tell me a little bit more about the detail on that deal. You said you found it in the free group. How did you acquire it, and then what was your exit strategy?
So for that one, I find in the free group, and later on, I have in the TC is in Sub2.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah, and I closed it. Is 2.5% VA loan.
Okay.
Out of pocket is only about like 10,000 ish. I used 20 to 30K to rehab it. The exit is midterm rental.
To run. Okay. So you bought that Sub2, any cash to the seller, or was that all closing cost?
Cash to seller, I think it's about like 3,000, 4,000 cash to seller.
Okay, very cool. So you had a seller that had no equity in their property, they needed to get rid of it. You put some cash in their pocket, took it over Sub2, and now it's a midterm rental for you.
The seller actually, he's like senior, so he want to move to the senior apartment like that.
Gotcha. And then you said you used a transaction coordinator, which I think is amazing. All investors should use a TC. That's kind of why I got into transaction coordination, was to TC my own deals. But then I realized I could help so many people in the community. But did you use anybody else? Anybody in the Gator, private money lending? Anybody else in the community for the deal, for the rehab cost?
The money I use is by myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So the title company is which I meet in the Sub2 meetup.
Oh, very cool. Okay. So the community helped you there too.
Correct.
What about you, Mike? Tell me about your deal. You kind of told us how you find it, but what did you do with it? What was your exit strategy?
So ended up wholesaling the deal.
Okay.
Made 17,000 on the deal.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good deal. Pretty clean. As I mentioned when I did the pod, that I think I got lucky as it being one of my first ones, is I didn't run into a whole lot of hiccups along the way. I was very forthcoming with the lady in the beginning that I think go into a retail would be a better option for her, but that's not what she wanted to do. And we actually formed a pretty good relationship out of it. We still talk to this day. I actually drove her to the retirement community from closing. So yeah, it was a good one. It was a good experience overall. And what I took out of it was just being forthcoming with people and being honest. Even if you're not going to get something out of it, long term will pay more dividends.
Right. That's a very powerful message. Now, when you were going to wholesale, did you post that in the Sub2 community or in the free Facebook group, or how'd you find your end buyer?
Yeah, so I actually have some connections with a local group here in St. Louis that is also wholesales, and so I had them take it to their dispo list and use their transaction coordinator.
Okay, very cool. Now, have you built a wholesaling business, or are you looking to kind of move towards some buy and hold for yourselves? Or, how has this have changed your outlook?
So big time. So I actually linked up with a gentleman, Andre, I'm probably butcher his last name, Kalguru, out of the Sub2 community. He's in California, and we actually partnered, and we just launched our company, Revolve Home Buyers, here in St. Louis last week. So we're still kind of, working through some things, but that's what we're doing now and yeah, the plan is predominantly, wholesaling, but always using Sub2 as an option if there's nothing else there. And then those, more times than not, I'll probably just retain for myself.
Gotcha. Now, are you staying strictly in single family? Are you going to venture in commercial, multifamily, or what's?
We'll do not commercial. That may come down the road, but right now just single family, multifamily. Trying to stick with what we know, especially being, getting off, starting fresh. You want to try to minimize the amount of mistakes that you're going to make, and so sticking with what we know seems like the best option for now.
Yeah, very good. So you talked about you met your partner in Sub2. Was there any other community members involved? Anybody from top tier TC or the Gator PML community?
Not in this transaction. No, I have had another transaction that involved a buyer out of the Sub2 community, as well as the transaction coordinator and team that we all linked up from Sub2. And I was in St. Louis wholesaling it to or JVing with a guy in Jacksonville who was selling it to a guy in the Netherlands. So it was we kind of went around the world on that deal, but no, this one in particular, I did not.
I wonder if Pace knew when he created this community it would go global. I mean, I knew he would take over the U.S., but I wonder if he knew it would go global. So.
I was completely, whenever they told me that's where the guy was at, I was blown away. Like, I was like, I don't know. I guess that was never an expectation of that's where you're going to find the buyer.
Yeah. So it must have been interesting with the time differences, because I think they're 5 or 6 hours ahead.
Yeah, and then you had to sign papers at like an embassy. There was definitely some, I learned a lot. I don't know that I'll ever use those skills again, but I learned a lot.
But that's proof it can be done. So if anybody's watching and they wonder if they could buy or sell from somebody internationally, it can be done. You can have to do your homework, but it can be done. But maybe people can reach out to you if that's something that they want to learn.
Yeah, for sure.
So Zoe, let me ask you this: how has Sub2 impacted your life?
So, Mike too, after I joined Sub2, I quit my refinery job.
Okay, so you're completely 100% real estate professional now.
Correct.
Nice. Now you build. I know Mike said he's kind of working on a wholesale business, some buy and hold. What's your trajectory? What are you doing with your new Sub2 knowledge?
So right now I'm trying to learn in wholesale too. For me, I doing rehab and fix and flip. So before I was doing a midterm, short-term rental only. And right now, my second property, like I mentioned, after joining Sub2, I purchased 3 property already. And the second one, I tried to rehab and sell it. And for me, I'm learning the wholesale too, and I want to do wholesale in the future.
Nice. So I will tell you from experience, there's a lot of people in the Gator community, especially connectors. So if you're looking for private money lenders to help with the flips, there's a lot of really good resources out there. And that might be something you want to look into, because Pace says use your money to fund other people's deals and use other people's money to fund your deals. So
yes,
yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Mike, what about you? How has Sub2 impacted your life?
I mean, the major thing, and I say time freedom loosely right now, but a lot more flexibility in time versus the industry I come from is 55, 60 hours a week, every week. You're stuck in an office. And so it was, there wasn't a lot of life. A lot of times I would literally work 12 or 13 hours, go to sleep and get back up and do it the next day. So just having some flexibility to, like, my grandpa was in the hospital a couple of weeks back, and I was able to just work from his hospital room for 5 days. So it's just like getting to see another side of life and realizing that there's more than just kind of grinding away, and that you can still make a comfortable living for yourself and be able to focus on things that are more beneficial in life, like spending time with your family, than just going to clock in at a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I really like that. I always tell people it's amazing when you could take your laptop and wherever you land is your office. I remember I got to spend a week in Puerto Rico. My TC company was speaking at a real estate event there, but I got to spend the whole week because I could still work. I literally could see the beach from the place I was staying at, and every afternoon I walked down to the beach, walk in the water, come back up, do some more real estate transactions. So it's really an amazing lifestyle to have, where pretty much wherever you land, even if you land in the Netherlands, you could still buy and sell real estate.
Yeah.
So Zoe, what's up next for you? What are your plans going into 2025?
So for the 2025, I want to do what my to do, like the wholesale, build a wholesale business, and still doing, um, like increase my portfolio to do the midterm, short-term rental, and still do some fix and flip.
Okay. Do you have an outlook on what you want your portfolio to look like by the end of next year?
Yeah, just have more money.
Definitely. Well, one of the things I learned is once you start putting numbers and metrics on there, it's a lot easier for you to start driving and making steering corrections. So that's why I asked that question. So um, make sure you definitely reach out to the community and start partnering with people, especially people that have experience in wholesaling like Mike does. Build a team, jump on a team, find out how these guys and gals are doing it. Because I've been blessed to be able to interview a lot of people that are making a lot of money on wholesaling. In fact, I can't remember, it was last week or the week before. I interviewed this one team. It was a family, and the daughter had just graduated high school, and she's wholesaling property.
Wow.
And they were trying to recruit their sister, who's 16 years old and still in high school, to wholesale properties. So it can be done at any age.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, Mike, what's on the horizon for you? What does 2025 look like for you, my friend?
Well, hopefully, not hopefully, we'll be up and fully running, and at that point, we'll have we've been doing pay per lead for now, but we have our pay per click build out coming, being worked on right now, and then we'll launch mail. Goal for 2025 is to be doing somewhere between 10 to 15 contracts a month, and then somewhere around a gross revenue of around a million and a half. That's the goal for me for 2025.
That's definitely an achievable goal. In fact, if you're doing 10 to 15 per month, you could definitely exceed that dollar amount by the end of the year. That's incredible. Well done.
Yeah.
So, Mike, let me ask you this: what would you say to someone who was on the fence about joining the community, any one of these communities, Sub2, Gator, Top Tier TC, any of them?
Yeah. So I would say the biggest thing that I've learned out of all of this is that you don't have to do this all yourself. I'm really big on I want to figure it out. I'll do it myself. I don't need help. And that's how I even started this, and before I joined Sub2. And then I quickly realized, I paid the money and signed up, and the amount of time I saved myself was way more than the amount of money that I spent. And I look into this connection alone with with the one gentleman in Sub2 that I'm now a business partner with will probably bring me millions of dollars over my lifetime, for a small investment in the beginning. So if I could go back and do it all, or tell anybody, it's don't hesitate, don't feel like you can cheap out on it and figure it out yourself. Spend the money, invest your time in it, and your learning curve is going to be so much smaller if you do it that way.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And the willingness of so many people in the community to help. There's so many people that I've called over the last few years that I couldn't even finish my sentence, and they say, "How can I help?" And so that's really the true power of the community, and I'm so glad you pointed that out.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe, what about you? What would you say to somebody who is on the fence about joining the community?
So for me, before I tried in the silent part, so I don't want to join meetup out of the comfort zone. But after I joined Sub2, I try to do a follow pace guide us. So right now, all the networking increase and all the people I meet is very useful. Yeah, so just try to break your comfort zone and do what you can.
So what you're saying is the real power of joining Sub2 is really the community and the people you get to meet either out in the community or within the Zooms.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Now, how many live events or live meetups have you gone to since you joined?
From I joined, it's about 5 to 10.
Oh, that's
Wow.
amazing. That's incredible. I love that. And you joined in May of this year?
Um, I'm in Houston, so the Houston leader they host
Yeah.
Yeah, weekly basis. So I join like 5 to 10 ish.
Yeah, that's Houston does have a big group. In fact, I keep telling myself I want to get out. I'm about 3 hours from Houston. I keep
Oh,
telling myself,
that's not too
yeah,
far.
yeah. I keep telling myself I want to get out there. It just so happens that every weekend that they have an amazing event, I'm out walking. An asset I'm getting under contract. So it hasn't aligned yet, but I know it will.
Mhm.
So Zoe, there's no doubt you're doing a bunch of amazing things. You've done a bunch of amazing things so far. 2025 looks huge for you. How can people get in contact with you? Or how can people connect with you if they want to learn what you're doing or partner with you or teach you about wholesaling?
Like my Instagram is here, is Zoe Zhang 0702.
Perfect. What about you, Mike? What's the best way people can get in contact with you? Because you're doing great things.
Yeah, they can reach out to me through my Instagram handle, or they can catch me on. They can just shoot me an email at mike@revolvehomebuyer.com, and I'll link up with them, give them my phone number, and we can hop on a call.
Perfect. I just love doing these kind of interviews. You guys are so inspirational, and you guys have amazing stories to tell. And I think people in the free community need to understand the power of what we do here and why we do it, and the fact that everybody who watches this is either someone that's been in Sub2 and have got a victory to talk about, or they're in the free group going, I don't know what to do next. And so being able to hear stories like what you guys are sharing is very, very powerful. And I'm so glad and blessed to get the opportunity to talk with people like you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. I really enjoyed it today.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Mike. Awesome. Wonderful. If you guys have questions about how to take what you're currently doing with your real estate investing endeavors and you want to grow that out, you want to build out a network for your social media, you want to build your brand. If you have questions, I'm all ears, and some people say I'm full of answers. We can put that to the test. Do you, Zoe, Mike? I try. Do you have any questions related to social media that you would like answered? An idea? Because oftentimes we don't know where to begin when it comes to the socials, and it's fine. Okay. Any questions that come to mind at the moment for either one of you?
Yeah, we actually, so we just launched our website and our Facebook, and I really don't know how, social media is definitely not my strong point. I don't really love social media in general, but how do I get what it would be the best way you would say to get the brand name out there? I mean, we've done to invite the people that we already know to like your page and things along those lines, but what would you say would be the next step to grow that page?
Okay, so I'm going to repeat something back to you, Mike. You said that you have a Facebook group, right? Right, Mike?
We have a Facebook page, yes.
Facebook page, and you had a website. Is that what I heard?
Correct, yeah.
Correct. Okay. So in order to get people to follow you, to want more information from you, the more they see you, the more they're going to want that information. So I'm going to tell you now that you have to, everybody who wants to create content, you want to grow the Facebook group, you have to step out on faith and create content, right? That's how I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to take Mike up on this offer and join this Facebook group, or I'm going to look at his second video because this first video wasn't that long. It was like 2 minutes. I have 2 minutes. I don't know Mike, but I can give him 2 minutes. The more content that you create, Mike, on what I'm going to recommend is a YouTube channel for your brand. Okay. If you have that's why we're here. If none of us saw Pace on YouTube, I don't think we'll be in this interview right now.
True.
Right.
Very true. Very true.
So the way that people followed his Facebook was, we went down his rabbit hole and we nestled you right into his Facebook group. And then things started to roll because by seeing him all the time, you already gave him the label of expert because you saw him all the time. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about. So for your brand, if you want people to join the Facebook group, maybe click those cool buttons that you want them to click on your website, you have to cultivate a relationship with them. So the next step I would tell you to do, Mike, is to curate a YouTube channel, create a YouTube channel and start making content. And I'm going to say make 1 or 2 videos a week to start. Don't make those videos over 10 to 20 minutes long.
Okay.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm doing right now too.
Very good, Zoe. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. Mike, I learned a really cool hack when I go to real estate meetups. Is how people want your Blink card. I actually show them my QR code for my Instagram page and said, well, can you follow me here? And then once I see them do that, then I say, okay, and I also have a Blink card. Would you like that as well? And
Yes.
so that's
Very
been
good.
really good at
That's
getting my
smart.
numbers up,
That's
because then
smart.
now because they're right in front of me, right? They're taking a
Right.
picture of it, they're joining, and then the next thing I did is my business partner and I, for 30 straight days, we did a 5-minute live on Instagram every day for 30 days. And it
Ooh,
seemed
I like
hard.
that.
Yeah, it seemed hard at first for the first couple of days, but then 5 minutes went by like that. But now people got to know, like, and trust us in just a short amount of time, because we were talking about everything from real estate to multifamily to raising capital to business relationships, personal relationships, the whole gambit. And even when we're sitting at an airport or sitting in first class waiting to go fly to walk a property, we're just having a conversation with the people out there, and it really got us a lot of new followers. So those are two things I tried that worked really well.
Beautiful. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also too, if I could piggyback off that, Jason, Mike and Zoe as well, speaking with many of the members in the community, you guys are crushing it. You guys are investing. But Pace is always like, listen, we need to create a system by which we're not always doing a deal and then we're starting from scratch. We're doing a deal and then we're starting from scratch, right? How do we keep our deals flowing? How do we keep the leads coming in? How do we, build our network so that there are other opportunities outside of our own reach that, hey, ring us up on the DMs, they send us an email. For example, and I love telling this story, Pace Morby landed the triple digit flip show by only having 5,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. Okay. So the reason why I say that is because when you go to his YouTube channel today, you'll see over 300,000 people. Okay. But the point is, it doesn't take a lot to gain the interests of brands, right? For affiliates. Okay. Building those income streams from different things like affiliates. Pace to do a driving for deals video. Okay. And we edit these quite a bit because these videos are organic. It's Pace in the car. Anyone can do this. And they're talking about what they're doing. Okay. More importantly, we incorporate organically the affiliates that he's utilizing, right? The PCSs, okay, the prop AIs of the world. How are we incorporating those affiliates into our daily life and how we're doing our deals? Okay. And what that does is that educates the audience to do the same thing, because now you have resources that are making your deals go faster, smoother. Okay. But what Pace does is he talks to you about them. And then while you watch the video on your new YouTube channel, Mike, your CTA, your call to action comes up of that affiliate, which tells me, the audience, to go into your description and click the link. You see? So when you're like, Pace says this, if Pace does a deal, he does what? I'm going to give you guys a hint. And Pace says this, if Pace does one deal, what's the next thing he does? Have you ever heard? Do you know? You don't know? I'm going to tell you.
Relationship?
No. If Pace does a deal, he does a video. Get it? If Pace does a deal, he does a video. And so if you get into the habit of doing that, because if you do one deal, it's a rhetorical question, but how many facets to one deal are there? There's so many layers to a deal. Okay. Right. A person that wants to know how to do a deal, you can teach me how to do a deal, what to look out for, what are the pitfalls, what are your experiences, all of that one deal, that's multiple videos that goes across your YouTube channel. Okay. Now watch this. In those videos, Mike, now you have a better chance of sending me to your website, sending me to your Facebook group, right? Because now you become the thought leader on this. And so my God, every week you're seeing so many people join your Facebook group who are going down the Mike Lynn rabbit hole. But good question, man. Absolutely.
Great. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm Lynn too.
Oh, cool. Any more questions?
That's the only one I had for you.
I got one if they don't.
Okay, please, Jason.
So Derek, as you know, I raise private capital for multifamily investments, and so
Right.
I was told that LinkedIn is the preferred for looking for your accredited investors. So do you have any insights or or tips for, kind of launching, yourself within LinkedIn, which is a different demographic than you see on the YouTubes and the Instagrams and TikToks?
Yes. So let me say this, Jason. I love that question. LinkedIn is my most favorite platform because it's where there's disposable income. There are professionals there. In fact,
Yeah.
I've met several doctors who are like, I don't know where to send my money. I have a lot of it, and I just want to know where to spend it so that I can make investment dollars. Okay. So
Exactly.
to double down on the answer to that question, Jason, when it comes to your LinkedIn page, most people, and I say this all the time, when we look at our LinkedIn accounts, they're nothing more than glorified digital resumes. That's how we
Yes.
treat them, right? That's
Agreed.
all it is.
Yep.
Where you went to
Yep.
school, blah, 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 blah. They're not sexy
True.
whatsoever. Nobody goes to your LinkedIn page.
Right.
But what we need to start doing with our LinkedIn page is we need to start incorporating our LinkedIn page with the use of our content from YouTube. Okay.
Gotcha.
And I'm explaining to you a little hack that we do that can really accentuate your LinkedIn page. Okay. So here it is. The three of you are real estate investors. Okay. And you want people to you want people to believe that you're who you say you are. And in order for them to do that, they have to see you. But at the same time, they need to know that you are a brand leader. They need to know that you are a thought leader. Okay. LinkedIn is the platform that's going to build your authority on who you are. And oftentimes on LinkedIn, people are readers. People read content on LinkedIn. They actually will read a 2-minute article, a 4-minute article. Now, here's a hack that I talk about all the time, and it just simply works, and it actually drives revenue. So on your LinkedIn account, okay, in your description, whatever your description is, let's change our descriptions on LinkedIn first. Okay, we can use ChatGPT, and we're going to tell ChatGPT to write for us an SEO optimized description of who we are based on the information below. Now, the information below that you're referring to is what you currently have on your LinkedIn description. Okay, so whatever your current LinkedIn description is right now, take that, copy that into ChatGPT, and tell ChatGPT to write you an SEO optimized version of what's below. What you want ChatGPT to also do with that description is talk about how you, the thought leader, gives value to those reading your content. And it's going to break it down for you. And you want Chat to know that you don't want it to be too long. So now when I read your description, I'm reading about how you benefit me. That's what I'm reading. I'm not reading about what you did when you're in college, when you graduated. No offense, guys, but I don't really care about that as the audience. Okay. Now, the reason why I told Mike to start creating YouTube content, Pace said every deal he does, that's the video. The double down to that is every deal you do is a video, and every video that you do is an article. Now, let me explain how we do that. Okay. Now, you don't have to write one article because the article is already created in your video. So here's what you do. You download a utility on Google Chrome called ChatGPT for YouTube. Okay. It's called ChatGPT for YouTube. It's a free utility. You download that. Now, when you download that and you have it on your computer, you've been creating content. So let me give you an example of something. So Mike, you've been creating content on your new YouTube channel. Zoe, you've been creating content on your new YouTube channel or your current YouTube channel. And every video that you put out, let's say you've been putting out, 30-minute videos. Your videos are 30 minutes long. But with those videos that you put out, you pre-gamed those videos to have, let's say, every 5 minutes, a talking point, a question and an answer, or whatnot. So now you have the 1 30-minute video, and then you have the 5, let's say, shorter videos from that main video. So now you have 7 videos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Each one of those videos is an article. Now, how is it an article? When you put that video on YouTube and you go into the Google Chrome to watch that video, on the right-hand side of that video, the transcription of what came out of your mouth in that video gets listed in that transcription. Okay. Now, you copy and paste that transcription, you take it and you do what with it? You put it into ChatGPT. Okay. Then you tell ChatGPT to write you an 800-word article based on the information below, which is that transcription from that video. Okay. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of steps. It isn't. Follow me. Then you tell ChatGPT to make an 800-word article. Make the article understandable by someone with a 5th grade level reading level. Okay? Because about 75% of Americans only read at a 5th grade level. That's just a real number. Okay? Then you want to tell ChatGPT to add bullet points where necessary. You say that. Okay? Because if I see your article and it's full of paragraphs, I'm not going to read it. I don't want to do that. That's too much work. I don't want to read your article. But I can read bullet points. Then you hit enter and chat writes your article from your video. You then take that article, okay, and you add that to your LinkedIn articles. Take the video from that, the video that the article comes from, and put the video right in the middle of the article. So now you're doing 2 things here. You're becoming a thought leader, you're adding free value on LinkedIn, and you're leading people down the rabbit hole of your YouTube, which can then take them into your Instagram once you have that. Okay. I would say if you can add like 4 or 5 videos with your articles per week, okay, by the time, after about 3 months, by the time you start adding links to your affiliates in those articles, links to your ebook, links to your courses, right? Links to important videos, to your paid webinars or whatnot. Once you start adding that after about 3 months, okay, then you'll start seeing some momentum with generating revenue across your LinkedIn as well. So that's one little small hack for you. Absolutely.
It's a huge hack.
Yeah. That was a great nugget, man. Appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Very welcome, Zoe. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love this stuff. Yeah, Pace keeps me busy. Pace definitely keeps me busy. Yeah, it's a good hack. Any more questions?
I mean, that was gold. I wouldn't know what to add. Yeah.
Good. Yes. So, I mean, again, if you have questions concerning Instagram, your YouTube, thank you, Anthony Russell. Your YouTube specifics. For example, when you put a video out on your YouTube channel, guys, please don't do it without a thumbnail. Please don't do that. Please, if you if you post a video with no thumbnail, delete the video.
Okay, point taken.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And here's the reason why. If you post a video and you don't offer a thumbnail, you're going to decrease your view potential by 18 to 23%. That's the exact number. That's huge. Okay. That's almost, I'm kind of spitballing here, but that's the difference between 12 views to 115 views. That's a big difference, guys. Okay. It does matter. So yeah. All right. So if there are no more questions, again, I could be on here and I'll bore you to death with.
Man. You could have your own show just talking about this for an hour.
Social media. Yeah. But if there are no more questions, Zoe, Mike, we thank you so much for being on the show. And for those watching, if you want to be on the show and grab some answers from Jason, tell us about your deals. It's necessary because a lot of times, there are people that are asking questions for you because some of us are afraid to ask questions. Some of us are afraid to ask questions about how to get deals done. We don't know. And so if you want to be on this show, please send an email, and I'm going to put it here, to Taya at PaceMorby. I hope I spelled this right. Yes, at Taya at PaceMorby.com. If you want to be on here, please, we hope that you reach out and send the email to Taya if you want to be on the show. That's her email there, Taya at PaceMorby.com. And she'll have you on here with Jason and myself, and I can harass you about social media, and we can have fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. But thank you again, Zoe. Mike, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Just remember to come back and thank Derek once you blow up on social media.
Definitely. You guys. And thank you so much, Jason. You're the best host, bro. And I'm sorry about the time change thing. Not your fault.
No, that's on me. That's on me. I mean, Taya, she told me what was going on, and I just disconnected from the time change. But I got it now. We're good.
We're good. Okay, everybody. Peace out. Have a good one.
Peace.
Take
Love you
care.
guys.
Thank
guys.
you.